Hello everybody, my name is Foolish. As you can see, I have a lovely little fire going. Sorry I haven't posted in a couple days. I've been real busy, but I'm gonna show you that later. I wrote some notes down. Or well, maybe I'll just show you now. Check this thing out. 1989 Chevrolet S10. This is what has been keeping me. What's made me so busy. And why I'm so smiley lately. It's beautiful. Ain't got no interior lights, but like I said, it's mostly a fix-it truck, so turn my flash on. Here's the interior. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special, but not tore up too bad neither. A little dusty, could use a cleaning. But listen to the sound of her. Make sure she's in neutral. Ain't got no depth perception. When I bought it, didn't have the dash lights. Didn't have either of the tail lights working. They were unplugged from the back. Done some, yeah, these lights didn't glow either. And I put a different Chevy thing on it. It did have one that was real small. Look at that paint job, son. Like, beautiful. And it's paint too, it ain't no decal. You can kind of feel it. It's like a very hard thing. It's not some plastic on there. So I want to talk about what I want to do with it. Because I'm real excited about this thing. I love this little pickup truck. I don't know if you can see my face or not, but I'm smiling real big. It's beautiful. Like the flame decals, or well, it's a paint job actually. It's just boat paint that he painted flames on with. Today, I'm going to be smoking, as has been tradition, Marlboro Reds. And just talking to y'all again, I guess. It has been a hard 2 weeks, I'll admit, since I wrecked my car. My car before this, I had a if you've followed my Twitter, which you should, you'll know that I used to have a Subaru Forester, and that thing served me well, I guess. But not really. I didn't like having it. It was a very strange car. Everything comfortable about it was perfect. All the seats worked, all the windows worked, it was clean. Didn't smell, aside from when I'd leave trash in it, but you know, on its own it didn't. But it had an exhaust leak, it had a cracked valve. I probably put $1,000 into it in repairs, at least, since last July, since I had it. That's a pretty short run for a car, I'd say. But anyhow, in the way that had everything wrong with it as far as mechanically, but had every comfortable feature, this pickup truck has got the exact opposite. It is beautiful. It runs really well. The transmission's perfect. But it has a million little cheap fixes I'll have to do. And I'm sure I covered. If you can't tell, I'm sitting in the same place by the same fire. I did a hard cut to show you the truck. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about when I show you that, but I'm doing that second. So that's why I might be repeating myself, but yeah. It's got no heater, no AC, Until recently, the brake lights didn't, or well, the brake lights still don't work. Until recently, the tail lights didn't work. Or well, they weren't hooked up to the fuse box. The fuse box was missing every fuse except what it required to run. And I suspect that wasn't on purpose. Because the guy that sold it to me, I sent him my YouTube channel. So if you're watching, thank you for watching and subscribing. And thank you for the truck. The thing is beautiful. I love it. But he gave me a box of parts, and he gave me a box of fuses and lights and all kinds of other stuff to mess around with it. I suppose it was his project truck, but I don't remember what he said about it, what he'd been doing with it. But it's a pretty good truck. It's in good condition. It's I think it'll last me 40 years. But here's what I want to do with it. I want to get it back to where... pretty much back to factory. That's the first goal, and then I'll start spending all the fun stuff on it. I'm gonna put a bull bar on it so that if I ever do hit another deer, it won't hurt me too bad. I'm gonna put overhead fog lights on it, preferably spots, but if it comes in LEDs and I can't get nothing else, then whatever. I want to get a bigger carburetor for it, just for looks pretty much, and maybe after that I'll do some more performance stuff, but honestly it runs well enough. I just want it to look cooler, and it looks cool enough as is, if you can't tell from the video. But I want to do that. I want to put a roll bar in the back. I want to I just want to get it looking real clean. And would you look at that, phone stays up on the dash and everything. But yeah, it is a fantastic little truck. I love this thing. Thank you again for selling it to me if you're watching. I won't say your name just because, that's common courtesy on the internet not to. I got my notes here. Tell you what I want to talk about. I'll start off with the problems. So it is a project truck. It is most certainly a fix-it truck. Probably gonna have to redo some of the brakes. They're a little stiff. I'll at least have to bleed them and see if they feel any different that way. Needs shocks real bad, but he gave me a parts box full of shocks. It's got all kinds of stuff for the suspension system, not just shocks, but needs that. I fixed the window over here. It used to fall. This one used to fall down anytime you'd hit a bump, but it just had where the control arm between the spinny thing, the control arm had broken away from the railing that it would slide on to lift up the window, and it ain't got no wheel on it, so I'll have to find a little wheel, but that should be easy to fix. The fuse box did have some fuses in it, but only really what it required to run. So he gave me guy that sold to me, gave me a box of bulbs and fuses and all kinds of stuff, so I took what I could out of there and filled it in, but I'm probably going to stop by the AutoZone and get it really going right. That's probably what's going to fix my blinkers and brake lights and all that too. This here light don't work neither. Or well, it works, but it ain't got the housing to turn it off and all that, so I'll have to buy one of those on Marketplace or go to a junkyard or something. That's probably what I'll do for most of it, is just go to a junkyard. But yeah, this thing's beautiful, man. I love it. Aside from the fixing, all the things I need to do to it, I'm sure there's more than just what's on that list that I just gave you, but as far as fixing, that's as much as there is. But, or at least as far as I know, golly. But I have dreams for this thing. So what I want to do, one second. All right, first and foremost, what I want to do is get a bull bar on this here bumper. Something that'll stick up, probably one of them triangular ones, so that it won't interfere with my headlights, because I'm gonna get a bull bar on the front of it. I want to get a rack of bull horns to screw in right there, because I think that's just, it's redneck as it gets, and that's what I'm going for here, despite my very different views from the rednecks. I still love that whole don't give a fuck attitude culture kind of thing. But I want to put a roll bar between I need to move this toolbox back a little bit probably. And on top of the roll bar, I'm going to get 4 spotlights. Or maybe I'll have a rack from the roll bar. Anyway, I'll figure all the logistics out later. And I want to get some truck nuts. Maybe not truck nuts for real, but yeah. And I do need to get a passenger side mirror before I can take it on the road. But this thing is a beauty. It runs like a monster and it shifts like a dream. So I cannot wait to get this thing downright perfect. I sit out here. Sometimes I sit out here for 10 or 20 or 15 or 10 or 20 or 30 minutes at a time, just staring at it, man. It's beautiful. What I want to do though with it as well, you can see where the paint job's starting to flake off a little bit, or where the clear coat's flaking off, and there's a couple little rust spots and stuff around the edges, but it's an 89. I mean, hell. Anyhow, that's what all I plan to do with it. And follow me along if you so please. All right, let's see what I got written down, because I'm out of stuff to talk about. All right, there we go. So, like I said, I've been on a break. I've been busy. But with that, I think comes a lesson in making time for yourself and taking time. Because really, if I wanted to, I could have stayed up that extra hour and made this YouTube video every night, but I needed the sleep, especially after all the work I haven't really been doing a whole lot of work, but I've been putting some time into the truck, not necessarily work. I ain't got a whole lot of tools. But making that time for yourself is very important. It's very important to not only to give time to yourself, but to spend time with the things that you love and the people that you love, like this truck for me and my roommates and my friends that, like I said, I could have sacrificed an hour of time, but that only would have been taking time away from the things that I love. And I do love this YouTube channel, don't get me wrong, but life comes first, you know? And that's how it should be with you as well. Or at least, that's my philosophy on it. Everybody has their own. So if you found a better way, then, you know, to each their own. But for me, making time is one of the most important things. And from that, I used to have a real bad imagination. I used to sit there in my room for hours just staring at the wall, trying to come up with something interesting. I was imagining things for the wrong reason. I was trying to imagine things for other people so that I could express myself more, which there's no harm in that, expressing yourself, but when you're expressing yourself for other people and not for yourself, and that's where it becomes an issue. And like I said, I used to have a real bad imagination, and until I started taking time for myself, making time and doing the things I enjoyed, spending more time with the people I loved, I had that real bad imagination. But as soon as I took that time, as soon as I did make that time, as soon as I started letting those people into my mind, because that's the problem, or letting those places and people into my mind. The problem with wanting to imagine things when you haven't been around people, or you haven't seen things, or you haven't done anything, is you don't know what to imagine. And it's not that, like, it's not that imagination has some rules or some code to it or anything. It's just that you gotta have experience, you know? And it helps when that experience comes from places of love, when those experiences come from family or friends or doing things that make you happy. And that's pretty well all I've got to say on that, I suppose. If you really want to enjoy yourself and love yourself, make time. And with that time will come beautiful things, such as an imagination and happiness and joy and little fires. And pickup trucks. So, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you for tuning in. It makes my day to see my views go up and any interactions I get. Although, I've gotten maybe 3 or 4 comments, but like I said, they brighten my day up by quite a bit. So, leave me a comment, leave me a like, subscribe if you'd like to hear me ramble and see me build fires. And I'm going to be putting some work into my truck on the YouTube channel here soon. I gotta get a tripod for then, but that shouldn't be too hard with this extra money that I got out of my insurance. So thank you all for watching. My name's Foolish, and it has been a pleasure.